stop. Feel the weight of the air around you right now. Listen to the silence that exists between your heartbeats. Have you ever wondered why, sometimes, a single 5-second gaze feels like it lasts a lifetime, while 10 years of routine vanish from your memory as if they never existed? We spend our lives believing that time is this relentless executioner, a cold, metal ruler measuring every step from the cradle to the grave. But the truth is, time is not a line, it's a perception. And what they call reality is, in fact, a distraction mechanism designed to ensure you never realize that the only master of your seconds is you. Look deep into my eyes right now. Nothing you seek, out there, will ever fill the void if, on the inside, you are merely reacting to a world that forces you to always be late. Modern life has taught you to chase shadows, to focus on the next goal while the present moment is diluted by an accelerated rhythm that does not belong to you. You aren't tired because the day is short. You feel this weight because your attention is being fragmented, second by second, to sustain an engine that brings you no peace. It is time to stop being a mere passenger in this rush and start being the author of your own rhythm. I'm not here to teach you how to manage your schedule. I am here to show you how to reclaim clarity inside this simulator. There is a state of presence so profound, a glitch in consciousness so real, that it makes a common minute expand into an eternity of perception. If you felt this calling, if you realize that your focus is the most valuable treasure you possess and decided to take control of your own journey, follow the channel and turn on the notification bell now. Time has stopped being your master and will start being your greatest ally. Are you ready to see what exists beyond the next second? Have you ever felt that hollow ache in your chest at the end of a hectic day? When you stop, look at the ceiling, and realize that despite doing 1,000 things, you didn't actually live a single minute. It's a strange sensation, as if you were a spectator of your own routine, a passenger watching your life pass through the window of a high-speed train. This isn't physical exhaustion. This is the mourning of your soul, realizing that another block of time has been confiscated. The truth no one tells you is that the simulation doesn't steal your years, it steals your nows. The system knows that if it projects you into the future with anxiety, or traps you in the past with regret, your present remains vacant. And a vacant present is a no man's land, ready to be occupied. While you worry about the bill due in 10 days or what they thought of you yesterday, the gears are there, harvesting the spark in your eyes, your capacity for wonder, your power to create. They've transformed existence into an infinite to-do list to ensure you never have time to look at the sky and realize you are a giant sleeping in a matchbox. Look at the people around you. They walk hypnotized by glass screens, feeding an algorithm that learned to read their desires before they even felt them. Every infinite scroll, every short video that makes you laugh for 3 seconds and leaves you empty for 3 hours. That is a blood transaction. You are trading your life for cheap dopamine. The system gives you a candy and, in exchange, it takes your attention, the only thing you possess that is truly sacred. Attention is the gateway to consciousness. If they control what you look at, they control who you are. They fragment your focus into pieces so tiny that you lose the ability to dream big. A thought that cannot last longer than 30 seconds will never be able to topple an empire. They convinced you that time is money, so that you would spend your whole life trading the eternal for the ephemeral. But think with me, if you had all the money in the world but only 5 minutes left to live, how much would you pay for 1 more hour? Time is the ultimate value, the fabric of which we are made. When you say you don't have time, what you are actually saying is that you don't have control over your own existence. You've become a resource processed by the matrix. The rush is the invisible whip they use to keep you in line, to ensure you don't stop, because if you stop, you start seeing the cracks in the code. Have you noticed how time seems to run faster as you get older? This isn't biological, it's systemic. As we grow, we are buried under layers upon layers of automation. We stop seeing the world with the awe of a child and start seeing it as a set of labels and utilities. The simulation saves energy by simplifying your perception. It compresses your days so they occupy less space in memory. That's why entire weeks seem like gray blurs. you are operating in low resolution. You are accepting a life in black and white while the infinite spectrum of colors is right before your eyes, waiting for you to simply stop. But there is a silent rebellion in presence. When you decide, in the midst of chaos, to breathe deeply and inhabit your body with all your strength, the system suffers a short circuit. It's as if you pulled the handbrake on a billion-dollar machine. In that instant of absolute silence, where nothing matters but the air entering your lungs, you reclaim everything that was stolen. You become player one again. The clock on the wall keeps ticking, but for you time has stopped. You've entered the rift. You are in the place where magic happens, where intuition speaks, and where reality becomes malleable. They want you to be afraid of the silence. They want you to be terrified of being alone with your thoughts, because it is in the silence that the voice of truth screams. It is in the silence that you realize you don't need half the things they told you to buy, and you don't need to be half the people they told you to be. The simulation is a constant noise designed to drown out the music of your soul. But the music is still there. It plays in every beat of your heart, in every moment of beauty you truly choose to see, in every gesture of love that has no price and no expiration date. The greatest lie you were ever told is that you are small and that time is your master. The truth is the opposite. You are immense, and time is merely the stage where you choose to perform. The system only has power over you as long as you believe the clock is the final truth. The moment you awaken to the sacredness of the now, the chains fall. You are not a battery. You are not a number in a census. You are life itself experiencing itself. And life, my friend, is in no hurry. It only has depth. Now that the scales have fallen from your eyes, you must be asking, how do I fight a system that controls every second of my day? The answer is so simple it seems impossible. You stop fighting and start disobeying. Temporal disobedience. It is the act of taking back the reins of your perception and declaring independence from the Matrix's clock. The first key to breaking the code is what I call the sanctuary of the now. The system hates it when you are present. Why? Because a man or woman who inhabits the present is unpredictable. They cannot be manipulated by fear of the future or guilt over the past. Start small. Reclaim 5 minutes of your day where the world is not allowed to enter. No phone, no music, no goals. Just you and your existence. In those 5 minutes, you are not a resource, you are not a worker, you are not a consumer. You are the observer. Feel time expand. Realize how those 5 minutes of absolute presence are worth more than 5 hours of distraction. You have just performed the first overclock on your reality. The second key is laser focus. The simulation thrives on your fragmentation. It wants you to do 1,000 things at once so that you do none of them with your soul. The secret of the masters who seem to live 1,000 years in a single day is depth. When you dive headfirst into a single task, a single conversation, a single gaze, you enter the flow state. There, the laws of the Matrix's physics change. Time stops being your executioner and becomes your ally. You produce more, create more, and live more because you are operating at the peak frequency of your consciousness. The system tries to pull you back with notifications, but you now know that every beep in your pocket is an invitation to go back to being a slave. Choose silence. Choose depth. The third key, and perhaps the most powerful, is the gratuitousness of being. The system conditioned you to believe that every second must have a goal, a profit, a result. This is what keeps you in the hamster wheel. Every now and then, do something that serves no purpose. Look at the clouds, walk with no destination, play with an animal, taste water as if for the first time. When you do something purely for the joy of existing, you are screaming in the faces of the architects that you are not a machine of utility. You are stepping off the production grid. You are accessing the 25th hour, that sacred space where the Matrix's time cannot reach. I know that as soon as this video ends, the world will try to suck you back in. The clock will keep ticking, the bills will arrive, and the rush will knock on your door. But now you carry a secret. You know that time is a construct and that the console is in your hands. You don't need permission to slow down. You don't need excuses to be the master of your attention. Your life is not a draft for a future that never arrives. It is the masterpiece happening right now between one heartbeat and the next. If these words touched something deep that you already felt but couldn't explain, don't let this flame die with the next distraction. Follow the channel and turn on the notification bell now to ensure the next frequencies of awakening reach you. The system will try to drown out this message, but our connection is stronger than the algorithm. And now, the final test of consciousness. Comment "Wake" below if you accept the challenge to reclaim control of your time today. I will look at every comment because every wake is a signal that the simulation is losing another prisoner. We have reached the end of this transmission, but your awakening is just beginning. If you've made it this far, you are no longer the same person who pressed play. You felt the glitch. You saw the light behind the numbers. Now the choice is yours. Will you return to the synchrony of exhaustion, or will you start dictating your own rhythm? Remember, they can control the clock on the wall, but they can never control the time of your soul, unless you hand over the key. Hold fast to your perception. Protect your now as if it were the most valuable treasure in the universe, because, in truth, it is. The system is failing. The code is exposed. And you are finally free to live. Time has started working for you. I'll see you at the next level. Wake up.